Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Kyra and today I have a very fun, very exciting Shop My Stash to bring to you along with my beautiful friend Kelly from Glam with Kelly. Every month when Kelly and I shop our stash together, we create a theme that we want to use to shop our stash around. This month I suggested this idea, which I got from Hannah Louise Poston and Sarah Hubler. I will link both of their videos down below and any follow-up videos that will be pertinent to this little experiment that we're going to do. And that is, we're going to shop our stash for the makeup items that we would replace first if all of our makeup somehow disappeared, whether by theft or tragic disaster. So this is going to be a little experiment this month. Kelly and I have picked out all the items that we think that we would want to replace immediately if our makeup collections disappeared. I have put everything else away. Everything is stowed in its drawers or down in the eyeshadow drawer below me here. And the only things that I'll be using this month are the products that I chose for this Shop My Stash. So we're gonna find out, can I work with this edited collection? How much did the collection cost to repurchase? At the end of May, we're going to have a separate video, or at least I am, that talks about how this little experiment went. Was I happy with what I picked? What else would I have added to this little collection if I could? How do I feel about the limited amount of eyeshadow palettes? I picked 4. I think this is going to be really, really interesting. Both Sarah and Hannah did theirs a little bit differently, as are Kelly and I. I have no idea how much or what Kelly has picked. She just knows me and she knows that I pick a lot and I gotta have options. When it comes to blush and eyeshadow, a girl has to have options. So with all of that said, a few things that I wanted to mention. This is assuming that whomever has stolen my makeup or whatever has left behind a few products that I like, my tools, my brushes and things like that, eyeshadow primer, glitter glue, the mascaras I already have open, black and a brown eyeliner and things like that, brow products. Also, we're going to assume that I can still purchase anything that might be discontinued. Also, keeping in mind that it is currently spring where I live here in Colorado, so I chose my products with that in mind for certain categories. So with all of that said, I hope it's clear as mud, and let's go ahead and get into this look right here that I created with my mini makeup collection of products that I would purchase or replace first. All right, are we ready for this? I think I am. All right, so I already have on my skincare and my primer. For the face, I have on my Coats Face Moisture Lightly Tinted Mineral Sunscreen, SPF 35. And I wear this every day, so that can be assumed. And then the only actual primer that I picked was the Too Faced Primed in Peachy Cooling Matte Skin Perfecting Primer. I really like this on days where I just need a little bit more perfecting, pore filling, or longevity to my makeup. I use this one. For foundation, I only picked 2, and if I'm being honest, I could probably only have 2 foundations and be totally fine with that, and we will find out. But they are, no surprise, the Missha Perfect Cover BB Cream. I have mine in the shade 23. And then my newfound love, it's more of an actual foundation versus a BB cream, that is the Clinique Even Better Makeup. This also has SPF 15, this has SPF 42. But today we're going to use the Missha Perfect Cover BB Cream and just use the old phalanges to apply this. And that's part of what I love about it. It does look kind of gray as I apply it to my skin. I think that might be because of how much sunscreen is in there because, I mean, partially it's a Korean skin brand, so there's that, but it does warm up and it does sort of, you know, the gray part goes away is what I'm trying to say very ineloquently. And so I really like this one. It's got the perfect amount of coverage for me. It's not like some BB creams where it's too like hydrating for my combo and sometimes oily skin. So it's just perfect in every way. And quite frankly, I could probably use this 90% of the time, with maybe 10% of the time wanting a little tiny bit more coverage, especially for filming, but daily, this is the one. For concealer, again, I picked two. The first one is the Glossier Stretch Concealer. I have mine in G10, and I love this. This is very quick and easy, and that's why I like it. But I also really like the possibility of having a more full coverage concealer without just layering more and more product on top. And for that, I love the Bare Minerals Bare Skin Complete Coverage Serum Concealer. This also happens to be one of the most hydrating concealers I have ever tried in my life. This was a Emily Noel recommendation, and I have mine in the shade Light. Obviously, this is the one we're going to use today, mostly because you guys have seen a lot of the Glossier concealer lately, because I've been crushing on it so hard and, you know, kind of fully testing it out as well. But it didn't take long. I knew pretty much right away that I loved it. And I like it too because it does work really well. It's very tenacious in terms of spot concealing any blemishes. Alright, brows are did, allegedly. And we're onto powder, and I chose three: a pressed powder, a loose powder, and a finishing powder. Now, the pressed powder is the number 7 Perfect Light pressed powder. This is one that I've gone through probably 5 or 6 of these over the last couple of years. Just kind of a very standard but very beautiful setting powder for the face. And so this is in the shade Translucent. The loose powder I picked is the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder. Love. And then the finishing powder I chose, no surprise, Hourglass Dim Light, of their ambient lighting powders. I'm not for sure if we're going to use a finishing powder. We'll find out. But I am going to go ahead and use the Hourglass Veil Translucent Loose Setting Powder today, because this Missha BB cream really doesn't need a hard set, so to speak. I personally, especially because it's going to be 80 degrees here today in Colorado, feel more comfortable setting my foundation versus not. So I am going to set it. But if you have normal to dry skin, you probably wouldn't have to set this BB cream. So yeah, for this little experiment, I kind of decided that I would want to have a pressed powder, because I do, besides using it to set my makeup, I do sometimes touch up my makeup if I need to. If I'm going somewhere in the afternoon and evening and my makeup's been on all day, I will sometimes touch up with a little bit of pressed powder. But I also really like the look of loose powder, so I had to have one of those. I'm gonna see a theme here. I did not skimp on the number of products. I wanted to cover all my bases, so to speak, so I did. For bronzer slash contour, we have a few options. So to start with, I don't think I would want to, I could, but I don't want to, live without my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Contour Wand. So this is my one and only cream bronzer contour product. I can kind of use it for both. For a shimmery or luminous bronzer, I have my beloved L'Oreal True Match Lumi Bronze It in the shade Light. Looks like this. I wonder if I'll hit pan before the month is over. That would be interesting to know. And then the third bronzer, I felt like I would want a matte bronzer available as well. So I went with my Marc Jacobs Omega bronzer in Tantastic. Not to mention the smell would be really what do I want to say, comforting if I had just lost all of my makeup. So I want to at least start with the Hollywood Contour Wand from Charlotte Tilbury, just because I don't use it a lot on my channel, so I thought I'd show it to you today. Not that you probably haven't seen it from other people. And then we might go over a little bit with one of the powder bronzers. But I do love this. This is a must for me on like light makeup days, or even like when I'm in a hurry. Sometimes I really like this one. I just apply it like you're seeing me now. I probably could squeeze up a little more, but I'm gonna try not to because I don't like to just leave a bunch of products sitting in the puff. It does stay hydrated, I will say that. Like, next time I come to it, it will still be there, it'll still be usable. I just don't like to if I don't have to. And I feel like I don't have to today. This will be good enough. So there is that. I will say I rarely use this contour wand like for the chins or the neck, so I think we will go into a powder bronzer right quick. Let's go with the L'Oreal Bronze It. I'm feeling a little luminous today. Bronze the ears and the jaw. I try not to bronze my neck too much when I'm wearing white. Just because that would not be a cute thing, would it? To have like bronzer along the neckline of my shirt. We have quite a few options for blush. I don't think anybody who's ever been to my channel before would be surprised. I love blush. I have to have all the options. So I'll real quick tell you the two cream products that I have. I have the Glossier Cloud Paint in the shade Puff, really pretty soft pink. Then I have the Flower Beauty Blush Balm in the shade Pinched, which is a nice nude peach color. That's going to be my peachy blush. For a face palette, and it also happens to have some eyeshadows in it, is my NARS Make Up Your Mind palette. This is what she looks like. You have NARS Orgasm and Dulce Vita, which this is the one I really couldn't live without, and then you have Luster, and then you have Laguna, so we have a little bit of a warmer luminous bronzer, and then like I said, you have 8 eyeshadows including these 2 glitters here, which definitely didn't hurt. And also, you know, these neutrals down here are a little bit more cool tone, so that adds to the value of the eyeshadow palettes that I chose. So there's that, and then I have 4 single powder blushes. I just could not let go of my Ofra and Samantha March Chick Lit blush duo. Another one that I added is the Persona Super Blush in the shade Caramel. I added this because this is like neutral leaning cool for me, and I need a blush like that in my life when I'm completing cooler tone makeup looks, which I'm into. Also, my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Cheek to Chic powder blusher. I love this. This is pretty neutral, and that was part of why I included it in my blush collection here. And then the NYX Sweet Cheeks Glow in the shade Citrine Rose. Had to have like a coral blush, and if you missed it, my hubby picked my makeup a week or so ago and we did a video together, and he picked this blush and I just fell back in love with it all over again. So thank you, Brian. I have no idea what color blush. You know what? As much as I hate to do it, I'm going to wait on blush until after we do the eye look, because I have an idea of where I want to go, but in case I go a different route. For highlight, I have 2 cream, well, 1 liquid, 1 cream, and 2 powder. The cream blush I chose is the ColourPop Light Sticks in the shade Earth. This is like a pinky, peachy, champagne color. Love, love, love this color, and I have to have like a pink or peach highlight in my life. I also really like the ease of this. I can either put on my finger and tap it on. I can use a sponge. For liquid, and this is kind of a multi-purpose. This can be used as a primer. This can be used as a liquid highlight. This can be used all on its own for just a healthy glow on a no makeup day. And it is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. Is anybody adding up? Because this collection of makeup is expensive. And I have mine in the shade number 3 light medium. And then for powder blush, no, powder highlight, again, I could not give up my Ofra and Samantha March. This is the at March Beauty Word highlighter. It's now called Start Inspired, so take that for what you will. I got this when it initially launched, and I love this. I love the option of both the more yellowy goldy color and the pink color. Pink, I love a pink highlight. And then when you swirl them together, it makes a very beautiful peachy sort of neutral nude highlight, which is also stunning. Plus this is very blinding. And then a brand new favorite, last thing I bought before the world went topsy-turvy, and it is the MAC Extra Dimension Skin Finish in this shade Double Gleam. I think I kind of want to go with the Charlotte Tilbury today. I haven't used it for a while, which is a rotten shame. But it is like super easy to use. It is one I love wearing under blush, so that's another reason to go for it. And I just kind of highlight with dots where I would normally highlight. And then I go in with my sponge or again a synthetic brush and just blend that in like I would any other cream or liquid highlighter. And because this is such a nice multi-purpose product, I figured, you know, if I'm really feeling a glowy primer one day, I can use that. See? Ooh, so pretty. You know, or I can use it as a liquid highlighter or what have you. I haven't tried this all on its own yet. Like I haven't worn it with no foundation on top of it as like a base product. Got my hair in it yet. So maybe that's something I can try this month. But this is just effortless and it's absolutely stunning. If you're into that natural glow from within, this is a product for you. Like a faux show. Alright, for any of you who have been around for a while, I'm pretty sure you already know that eyeshadow was the hardest category for me. There was only one palette that was a given that I was for sure going to include, and that is my precious Persona Identity palette. This is a favorite. This is a great everyday palette. It's a great neutral palette. It's a great natural palette. It's a great glam palette for me. And so this is the first, like the literal first palette that I would run out and buy if somebody came and swiped all of my makeup. Another old favorite, and again, a discontinued product that you most likely couldn't find unless you purchased it used, is the Lorac Mega Pro 2. I wonder if any of you are surprised to see this. I just love the colors in here. This is a great basics palette that isn't neutral, if that makes sense. And then when I've been wanting to use some more and I thought, yes, I would repurchase this one right away if it disappeared because it's become a favorite. The only reason I don't use it more is because I have too damn much, so this month I'm going to use it more. It's the ABH Norvina Collection Volume 1. And I just love everything about this palette. I love the textures of this palette. I love the formula. I love the colors. I just love everything about this, and that always surprises me. How much I love this palette always surprises me because I wouldn't say that these are my favorite colors of eyeshadow to wear, but I always love my eyeshadow looks when I use this. And then the last palette also may come as a surprise because I haven't used this on my channel. In fact, I've only used this palette once, but this is part of what I said in the intro, and that is I'm considering that I would be repurchasing my collection in the spring and that I would have time to possibly add some things to my collection before that color story kind of shifts over into like fall and winter. So the palette that I have in my collection that I haven't used on my channel, but I would repurchase right away because I think it would be so fun to use for spring and summer, is the Juvia's Place Mini Magic palette. And I just love everything about this, and I think this is what we're going to use today. So I think for a transition, I'm gonna go ahead and start off with this shade right here. I'm gonna say the names, but please don't laugh because I'll probably say them wrong. Like I said, the palettes were the hardest, the most hard, the most difficult. Where are my English skills today? To choose. I just had the worst time. What were some of the options that I had? Well, I think at first I had either the Natasha Denona Gold or Lila palette, but for that one I just felt like that was too expensive because I added up everything right off the bat that I had on my list and it was well over $1,000. And I was like, okay, in reality, Kyra, would you have $1,000 to drop right off the bat if all of your makeup was stolen? That shade really didn't show up on me, so I'm gonna mix this one and this one together. So that's Kessie and Nana, or Nana. My kids call my mom Nana, so that's kind of cute. Oh, I forgot something. I knew I was gonna forget this. The other thing I included for eyeshadow is my Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize in the shade Marie Antoinette. And I can tell you with 100% certainty I would purchase this right away because I love this thing. I use it an absolute ton. So I'd be curious to know what, if you could only, you know, pick a few palettes to repurchase right off the bat, what would they be? I have so much curiosity. Now going in just with the shade Nana or Nana, I don't know. And I'm gonna place this on the outer corner of the lid as well as up into the crease area just for a little depth. I am excited though for this project this month a lot because I don't always use more than one palette together. In fact, I don't usually, and I think this will be fun to have to, or you know, decide to mix some palettes together because I only have 4 plus. I'm counting the NARS one as my face palette, though there are eyeshadows in there. Beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna go back to mixing the first 2 shades and just make sure all the edges are blended here. I love this color. It's kind of like a, I don't know, caramel color maybe? Very warm orangey brown. I'm kind of feeling a yellow eye look today. Is that surprising? Probably not. Okay. Oh, this is a terrible, I don't know what this name says. Baronu? This one right here, it's kind of like a bronzy gold color. I'm gonna put that on the middle third or so of the lid. Man, that like matches the crease shades perfectly. I love Juvia's Place eyeshadows. Now for the star, this is the shade Nubia. I would definitely call this yellow, so I'm stoked. That's definitely one of the things I liked about this palette. Gold shadows are like a dime a dozen, am I right? But yellow metallics, I don't feel like they are. I feel like they're kind of special, kind of a little rare. I do feel like I need a little bit of a deepening situation and an inner corner highlight. So I think I'm gonna go into my Lorac Mega Pro 2. I think I can get both of the things that I want. Make a small dense domed brush and go into this brown shade right here called Saddle. And I will say I am taking a break from all of my Project Pan products this month. Like, I've put them all away, put away everything that's not in this Shop My Stash experiment. But this. This is a product or a palette that I am kind of unofficially working on this year, just trying to, you know, maybe hit some new pans and get use out of it while I still can. Inner corner highlight, I think it will be fun to use this shade called Moonlight. It's probably not evident in the pan, but it is, you know, a soft satiny shimmery color, but it has a like hint of yellow to it, so I think that will be pretty. So what color blush does one wear with a yellow eye shadow look? I'm gonna first use the Flower Beauty Blush Balm in Pinched on the cheeks for a little bit of color, and then I want to try, because I don't think I've used it a whole lot, this shade right here is called Luster. My bestie Jess like loves this, but I do know it to be kind of a sheer blush, and I know that I'm going to want more pigment on my cheeks than that, so I'm gonna put down some Pinched first. Alright, so there's some base pigment for us. I'm gonna let that set for just a moment. So now we're gonna go ahead and pick up the shade Luster. Add some glow as if we needed any. Oh, as if we needed any more glow, but you know, I don't care. I'm gonna pop off of here, do some eyeliner and mascara, but before I do that, I'll tell you what I'll be using this month. So for liners, the only 3 I kept out, the rest I put away because I was trying to be reasonable, is the Wet n Wild Simma Brown Now, the NARS Via Veneto, which is black, and then the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk eyeliner. But today I'm going to use the Wet n Wild, this is brown. And then the 2 mascaras I'll be using this month are the Milk Kush Mascara. This is a mini, but I do have the full size and I intend on opening it if I need to this month. And then I have the Bare Minerals Lashtopia mascara as well. I've kind of been using this on the top and this on the bottom because this is starting to dry out. So I'm going to use both of these today. Alright, we're back. The eyeballs are finished off. I forgot to mention I'm also keeping out my Pixi Eye Bright Liner. This is just a matte nude eyeliner for the waterline. For lip liners, I kept out 3. My Holy Grail MAC Whirl, MAC Soar, which is more of a pinky, and then ColourPop BFF2, which is kind of a nude brown. For lipsticks, if you couldn't guess, there's a couple of Charlotte Tilbury in here. I kept out Very Victoria, which is a really beautiful kind of a neutral nude, and then I also kept out Bond Girl because this is my perfect red and it was a gift from my hubby and I just love that color with so many things. I also kept out a NARS Satin Lip Pencil in the shade Rikugan. I don't know. It's pink. I definitely need a pink lippy for spring, and this is really, really pretty. And then I also wanted like a fun, bright, like just a fun, bold color, I guess. And so I kept out one of the Maybelline Superstay ink crayons. This is in the shade Accept a Dare. It's a really pretty purple color. These are the Revlon Super Lustrous Melting Glass Shine lipsticks, something like that. I have this shade Nude Illuminator. I have to have these on hand because when I'm wearing makeup like this, you can see if I don't have anything on my lips, it looks pretty sad. But I don't always reapply like lip liner and lipstick and stuff throughout the day, so I'll usually just reach for one of these to reapply, and then I have some color to my lips, and if I have a warm look on, I reach for Nude Illuminator that I just showed you, and if I have more of a cool tone look, I go for this one, which is Glazed Mauve. And then I also kept out 3 lip glosses. The first one is the Bobbi Brown Crushed Oil Infused Gloss. This is in the shade Free Spirit. It's a beautiful nude. And then I also really love a warm pink gloss. So this is the Ofra gloss in the shade Cherry Mocha. This is a favorite from Samantha March. And then the last product, I wanted just something kind of bold but not too bold, blah blah blah. It's the Bobbi Brown Crushed Liquid Lip in the shade Give a Fig. It's the color of this packaging. And this is not a liquid lipstick, this is a lip gloss, but it's very pigmented and it does leave a little bit of a stain behind when you use it. I think I'm going to use the ColourPop BFF2 liner here and then top that off with the Bobbi Brown Crushed Oil Infused Gloss in Free Spirit. So we'll speed through it. And I picked this because I love this as a hydrating lip. This is something kind of like the Revlon ones that I will apply throughout the day if I just need to add a little color to the lips to match the rest of my face. And speaking of faces, this is the completed one. What do we think? I'm really pleased with this, but I'm even more pleased and excited for this project. So I'm gonna put on the screen right here, right now, the total cost of all of these products. And let me just say, there's a lot still left in my drawers over here, and below me are my eyeshadow palettes and in my vanity. So, curious, what would be your budget? What would be the amount of money that you would want to stay under in order to replace your collection immediately if something happened to it? Just curious. You know, everybody's finances are different and things like that, but also people's boundaries are different. I don't have a lot of boundaries where it comes to things like this. And I'm also kind of I'm kind of a bougie bitch. And not just that, but I've kind of been on a journey of fewer, nicer things over about, you know, I mean, at least this year. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely go check out what Kelly's mini collection will look like for the following month. So I'm going to come back and do a separate video talking about my little experiment here, how it worked, if I missed anything, what's the cost of the additional things that I would have wanted to add, did I cheat, did I use anything else, and so on and so forth, because that's going to be kind of a long recap of this month's little experiment for Shop My Stash, and then we'll do our new Shop Our Stash on the 1st of June. Can you believe it? So let me know what you think down below. Did you like my picks? What do you think of the look? Should I never wear yellow eyeshadow again? I'm not for sure. But with all of that said, I hope you are staying very safe and very well during this time. I hope you're being kind to others, but most of all, I hope you're taking really good care of yourself mentally and physically. And I hope if you're wearing makeup right now, and I hope you are, I hope all of your makeup days are absolutely gorgeous Shop My Stash makeup days, and I will see you in my next video real soon.